Well, yes, Grenada, Carrico, PD, Monica, and the rest of the world, I'd like to officially welcome you to another Mikey Live program, and I'm your host, Mikey Hutchinson, and we are coming to you live from the Spice Isle of the Caribbean. And there are a lot of things that we need to tell you about, things that are happening here in Grenada, Trinidad, Tobago, the wider Caribbean. We are happy to tell you about it. Of course, this is news discussed, not told. For those of you who are viewing the program for the first time, we'd like to say thank you for so doing and welcome. And of course, for those of you who are always on the business, we'd like to say as well, thank you for joining us. Thank you for being so loyal, and thank you for sharing the program. So if you have not yet done so, please go ahead and share the business. Share it with your family, your friends, your colleagues, your husbands, your wives. Just share it on your pages so that, of course, other people would see that we are here, that we are live. Folks, let's just now take a look at what's in the headlines for tonight. So you will be told about a government scholarship for some students, as well as Grenada wins the court's OECS reading competition. We will talk about that in a moment. And Intercall is back. Whew. That was close. Mr. Killer to meet with Soca Monarch organizers in Trinidad and Tobago, and police officer charged. We'll tell you what that charge is, all right, guys? And Grenadian father and son die from suspected carbon monoxide poisoning. We'll talk to you about that and more when we return on tonight's Mikey Live. You see, when we come back, it could be real news in Audio Lily Lolo. Now, we want to let you know that the headlines was brought to you through the kind compliments of WPG 10, Digicel, and Nawasa. When we come back, is real news. All you brace all yourself, get all the water, get all the little creek, something like that, because we coming.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom
for me and you.
I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. What a wonderful world.
We enjoy the luxury of a quality water supply. But it can come to this. Have adequate storage.
It's one of the most anticipated events in 2020, the Grenada Music Festival, June 5th to 7th at the home of the festival, Quarantine Recreational Park. 12 live bands, more than 16 dynamic performers, great food and local culture. The Grenada Music Festival, June 5th to 7th. Bigger and better in 2020. Get ready.
Are you looking to rent chairs and tables? Then call Waggy T Rentals. We rent tables and chairs for any event. We have 7 different types of chairs: plastic, folding chairs, gray and white, resin white chairs, conference chairs, even Chivari chairs in gold and white. We also rent 6 feet and 8 feet rectangular folding tables, 4 feet and 5 feet round tables, and even cocktail tables. Give us a call at 444-RENT. That's 444-7368. Or visit our office at Frequente Industrial Park, Granite, St. George.
Why not stay in, turn off the alarm clock, and sleep some more on your perfect mattress from Quartz? for the widest range of mattresses from the world's best brands. The best value guaranteed. Shop today and let our sleep experts help you to decide on the best option to suit your needs. At Quartz, we don't just sell mattresses. We're offering you the best night's sleep. So, sleep in a little on your new mattress from Quartz. Quartz, bringing value home.
And of course, they always bring value home. We are talking about Quartz. All right, so folks, we are ready for you. I hope all you're ready for us. Okay, now around 90 of the nation's students are to be presented with the first set of scholarship awards for 2020 made available by the government of Grenada through the Ministry of Education. Now, a ceremony will be held in this regard on Thursday. Awards will be presented to the students for study at the St. George's University, that's the SGU, in areas of pre-med, medicine, veterinary medicine, and arts and science, including nursing. Now, we also understand that the Grenada Houston Association will present academic support awards to 8 students as part of its annual awards to Grenadian students. All right, so I think that's good. That's good news if you ask me, right? Okay, so we ought to big up all the people from St. David's right now. There seems to be a big project coming your way. That's right. So here's what. Prime Minister Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell has welcomed the start of work on the 6 Sense Hotel project in Lasaja, St. David. Now, project developers Range Developments announced the start of construction last Thursday, and that was to coincide with the Grenada 46th anniversary of independence on February 7th. Welcoming the start of work on the project, Dr. Mitchell said that the government of Grenada fully supports and welcomes the work of Range Developments, which has outstanding record of delivering the finest world-class resorts in the Caribbean. Now, the 100-room luxury hotel is scheduled for completion by November of 2020, and Dr. Mitchell is keen to see this accomplished, given its potential impact on the rural economy. He said, and I quote, "The project will impact significantly on Grenada's rural economy, especially through the creation of jobs in both the construction phase and when the hotel begins operations." Now, in addition, he says 6 Sense Lasajes will offer visitors a more unique experience given its location outside of the traditional tourist belt. Now, let's see, understand, this project, they say, will most definitely provide some employment. All right, well, let's see. Let's see. Let me see if I get a picture of, what it's going to look like. All right, so here you go. You understand? All I want is like a room in my name. You understand? The Mikey Hutchinson room. Yeah, understand? We could talk about that another time. No. Anyway, so that's what it's gonna look like. All right, apparently. All right, so we are moving on. I ain't keeping all on the program too long tonight. No, we have some work to do in studio tonight. Grenada is being represented at the World Bank International Development Association, the IDA, high-level meeting with the Eastern Caribbean, which is taking place in Miami this week. Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, Dr. Keith Mitchell, and Minister of Climate Resilience and the Environment, Senator Simon Steele, are among government representatives from the Eastern Caribbean attending the meeting, along with representatives from the World Bank. Now, the high-level dialogue is intended to discuss strategic priorities in preparation for the utilization of the IDA 19 resources, the July 2020 to from July 2020 to June 2023. Blue economy and renewable energy are particular areas of focus for the meeting. And of course, we have provided an update on that on our website and previous stories as well, so you could go check that out as well. All right, earlier, we received word that Grenada is trending right now, and one little human being is responsible for that. Now, for some of you, you have been following the Courts OECS reading competition, and guess what? Grenada has won. Melody Garrett of the Mount Rose SDA Primary School. Now, she was the winner for the Grenada leg. All right, so she was representing Grenada at that event. And here's what she has done according to reports: a fantastic job. They say her performance was really outstanding and earned her the top spot. Folks, join me in congratulating those who helped prepare Melody Garrett for this competition: her teachers, her friends, her parents, courts, and all else involved. Let's congratulate them, because she has really, she's such a cutie and a bright girl as well. So congratulations. This was an awesome victory for you, your family, your team, and the school. Keep it up. All right, now talking about school, Olia here already. Intercall is back. Government and teachers seem to be working out a thing, the teachers union, and so an announcement was made. In fact, they had a whole press conference. The Grenada Association of Principals of Secondary School, they are saying that there'll be intercall games this year. Most deaf. They had their short media launch, right, which signals the start of the preparation for this year's event. Now, it will be sponsored this year by Republic Bank and will be entitled the 2020 Republic Bank Intercall Games. You understand? Well, it used to be sponsored by Scotiabank, and I know Scotiabank again. You know what I mean? Alright, so so all you gonna get all the intercall. You understand? So all you gotta relax now, you know what I mean? Ease the tension. You're getting all the intercall. And I'm happy to hear that at least we have the intercall, because all you know, the thing had become so dramatic and all that, and of course we lost out on some really good sports. You know, some of the schools and so on who used to have their sports, they didn't have their sports, and you know, yeah, thing wasn't looking pretty on no side at all. So now they are having a thing. All we have to say, well, good. You understand? All the next thing that we have to tell you about, boy, Hollis, Mr. Killer, MAP team, and the Playway International Soca Monarch organizers. Now, we are told that they are scheduled to meet. You understand? So, let's see. They say it's somewhat to find a way forward for the team to express their concerns. Now, you would remember on Saturday, Mr. Killer announced via social media that he will not be defending his crown because of a lot of different issues. He says that he's been deprived of the details and the tools that was necessary for him to properly prepare for his performance. And of course, he added to his press statement by doing a live on Sunday explaining the reason behind his decision. All right, folks, and here is an excerpt from his live.
In the soca industry that I'm a part of, and say, you know what, there's supposed to be a benchmark, there's supposed to be a level. This is not about, oh, I win soca money. You know my journey. Them don't know nothing about my journey. They know where I come from. Unless you never wake up in the morning and pick up your gun and decide you want to murder people, don't talk to me. Don't open your mouth, because I take my life and I change it and become a part of this. A part of something that I dream of growing. A part of something where I wake up in the morning and I feel like, yo, one day why can't we walk up to a Grammy Award stage and collect a Grammy Award? I wake up and be a part of something that changed my life, that feed family, that take my ghetto youths them from the street around me, and I turn them also into people, into better people in life. My music is my everything. You know what I could have do? I could have wake up in the morning and just go to Soca Monarch and just take the money and gone. Settle for whether it's a first place, a second place, a third place, is money. So I could have just go in there and just take the money and gone. This is not about money for me. I'm not hungry. This is about standard. This is about what I want to become. And if them other artists don't feel like they need to stand up, that is fine. One man soul, yeah. Sold big. You understand what I'm saying? That's why people like Malcolm X die for what they believe in. But some of us will run away. You remember Jesus Christ, you know, coming up and stand up for change and better things, you know. What we do? We crucify him, you know. You see it? So all of them people we're talking and running them out and we don't bother with them, you know. Weak heart, you know. Weak heart, you know. Them they ready for nothing. The spirit I have say, draw your guns or your knife, pull out your sword, then let's war to the last. Because you are going, I come here for freedom. I refuse to stay under your court order. I here for freedom. I here for the right thing. I want to fly. I can't keep bouncing the galvanized. And because I refuse to stay in the house and bounce the galvanized and really want to come outside and spread my wings and fly, I want to give me the platform then, give me the opportunity, give me enough time. You understand what I'm saying? Let me put my performance together, give me a nice fair battleground, so then who have big tune or whatever it is, let them come and battle and take the crown from me. Don't give me something halfway and feel like I'm supposed to be a part of it and function halfway to 50% and just take that and cool it. Come on, this is 2020, and for 2020, I'm telling you, know.
All right, and so that was Mr. Killer, and he sought to explain himself, you know, as to, well, why he decided not to participate in the competition. All right, and there still seem to be a lot of, you know, we are ready. Yes, there still seem to be a lot of back and forth, you know, about this whole thing. No, in this YouTube video, he spoke of Mr. Killer, of Fayan and a team. He said that they made it their duty to iron out whatever problems that they would have had quickly. All right. He added that he had competed for over 20 years, and every time he competed, he gave 100%. All right. He added that Baptiste was not his problem, which was one of the organizers. All right. All right. And Baptiste himself also spoke on this whole issue, right? He said they were asking about the stage dimensions and so on, so on, so on. All right. Now, Mr. Baptiste was saying in the competition's 23 years of existence, there has been no protocols set in place for the previous winners or sitting monarchs. All right. He says, this is not like if someone in the past won and we extended certain courtesies to that person. It was just never part of our protocol. Now, he added that people within the organization and those who participated in the event were aware of that. All right. Anyway, let that talk. We are moving on. Oh, yeah. So, the next thing that we want to tell all about, boy, is that the police is in trouble with the police, and that's according to a Now Grenada report. Claims that the police officer have been charged, facing predial larceny charges after he was caught stealing nutmegs in someone's land. The article quotes Kester Young of St. Patrick, all right, being placed on a $7,500 bail, and is set to return to the Sotez Magistrate Court on the 25th of February of 2020. The officer, it says, is required. Well, first of all, the officer is on suspension until the outcome of the matter. All right. Now, during the suspension, he will receive half month's salary, and if convicted for the offense, he will be dismissed from the force. There isn't much details out on the whole thing, you know, but what? You're telling me pretty larceny seems to be a very serious offense. Now, he's charged under the 2003 Pretty Larceny Act, which states that any person who commits an offense against this act shall be liable, except where some other penalty has been provided by the act, to a fine of not less than $3,000 or more than $10,000 and imprisonment for 24 months. Yeah? Speaks about entering someone's lands without permission and so on, so on, so. But nobody, police officer gets in some trouble. You understand? I hope that thing will iron out and thing like that. And was it yesterday we were telling you about a dog? No. So today we were talking to the attorney, Robert Ferguson, about this whole thing, and I will try to see if I can get to speak to him about animals. Forgetting about talking about something different now, about animals on people's property, particularly dogs and so on, because you know there's a serious problem in Grenada, right, where people are having dogs, and these dogs are going into people's property and causing serious problem, messing up on your step, digging up your garbage. It doesn't matter where you put your garbage, they're digging up your garbage. You understand? They're coming in your land and back behind you. You understand? So we will seek to speak with the attorney on what are some of the measures that can be taken by a property owner who has that problem, as you know, animals, or particularly dogs, being a nuisance. You understand? Yes, anyway. Let me leave that talk to you here, Papayo. Oh, yeah. This one is a really sad one. Police in the US, they are investigating the death of 2 men. They were found dead in their home, Highland Park. They say the bodies were found inside a home, Massachusetts Street, I think it was, yes. You know, on Sunday morning, father and son, named Winston and Nigel Vento. I know them people. I mean, grew up in the area in Grove by the RC school. So Vento was the person who used to play the saxophone for the harmonies with brass. You understand? Yeah. You know Mr. Vento? I mean, that's the one in the red, and then his son. You understand? Chano. One of the persons close to this said, I went to the house at 9 o'clock. I called them both. I was banging on the door, but neither one would answer the phone. And also, the police was called, but they could not force entry. You understand? They went in on Sunday after she filed a missing persons report, and the men were found deceased, still in their beds. You understand? And now what they are saying, that they suspect that it is carbon monoxide poisoning. According to one source, the two men had been living on Massachusetts Street for roughly 8 months. And then the power was shut off last Monday, and the men were running a generator to keep the lights on. Understand? They are saying that originally they are from Grenada by way of New York, and the Ventus were in Michigan working carpentry jobs, sending most of them money to their families back in New York. Winston was 68 years old, married with 4 adult children, and Nigel also had 4 children ranging from 14 years to 3 years old. They say that's all they did was work and to provide for their children. They didn't do anything else. They were simply hard-working men. Now, we were told that a lot of questions are swirling about the utilities there. All right, and the energy company is looking into it. You know, it's just sad, eh? You know, really, really, really sad. You know, no boy. So you had some of the members of the Harmonies with Brass. They were talking about Mr. Ventu and how he was very instrumental, like one of the founding members of the Harmonies with Brass. And Harmonies with Brass is a band from Go Off that has been around for ages, over 30-something years. You know? No star. So, we are moving on. Yeah? I just can't imagine how the family, because there are so many children involved in this. Yeah, thank God, you know, none of the children was affected by this, but whew. The Caribbean now has a facility to test for the dreaded novel coronavirus, which originated in China and which has killed hundreds and has spread fears around the world. The Ministry of Health in St. Lucia said one of the gaps in managing the virus has been diagnostic testing, although there are no cases on the island there or even in Grenada or the wider Caribbean. However, the lack of regional testing for the virus is now a thing of the past. All right, so at least we can breathe a sigh of relief that now we can test for this virus. Now, the public, you're encouraged to continue practicing the standard recommendations to prevent the spread of the infection, and these include regular hand washing with soap and water or an alcohol-based hand sanitizer where soap and water is not available. So they are still encouraging the soap and water first, right? Cover your mouth and nose with disposable tissue or clothing when coughing and sneezing. And when coughing and sneezing, if you don't have the tissues or clothing, you can do so like this and not like this. Because when you do like this, you tend to shake others' hands, or you tend to open a door, or you tend to interact with people with the same hand that you cough and sneezed in. Avoid close contact with anyone showing symptoms of respiratory illness such as coughing and sneezing. Seek medical attention and share your travel history with your health care provider if you have symptoms suggestive of respiratory illness, either during or after travel. All right, we are moving on. How are we looking for time today? We're moving nicely, eh? Yes, I. Now, yeah, we have some upgrades to do in the studio. Right after the program, we will be doing so. All right. we still want to improve the acoustics just a little bit better for you. So we received our shipment today, and so tomorrow our audio will sound even much better. Anyone with information regarding the following persons, individuals, you're asked to tell them to urgently call the number 420-8223. That number again, 420-8223. So ask them to call the number, please. Welcome to the hot list. You know, I wish I could just put on like a thing when I read in the hot list. You know, I want to feel like Superman when I read in the hot list. Have a cape. You know, yeah. And time to call the names. Anyway, you're the stars of today. Here's our hot list for today. Alisa Joseph of River Road, St. George. Please call the number. All right. Berlin Gilbert, Grand Mall, St. George. Lindy Skinner Moraine, Springs, St. George. Ansel Holder, Tempe, St. George. Clifford Batiste, Grandin, St. George. Byron Frank, Vendome, St. George. All right. Augustus Maitland, Buseju, St. George. Nadia Simon, Monkey, St. George. Sherlan Ambrose, Grove, St. John. Ashton Thomas, Maran, St. John. Lauren and Sherry and Dunbar, Telescope, St. Andrew. Glen Canhai, Post Royal, St. Andrew. Joseph Paul, Pearls, St. Andrew. Stardale Romaine Conference, St. Andrew. Aaron McEwen, Carrier, St. Andrew. Ricky Lalji, Hope, St. Andrew. Gary George, aka Gambe, Langdon Road, Grove, St. John. Kimani Lewison, Montmorris, St. George. Kimron Alexander, Maribo, St. Andrew. Alberto Louis Paradise, St. Andrew. Elroy Fletcher, Grenville, St. Andrew. Jenny Samuel, Conference, St. Andrew. Kelly Hilaire and Jennifer James, Conference and Maribo, St. Andrew. Atiba Bartholomew, Tivoli, St. Andrew. Jeniza Samuel, Conference, St. Andrew. Brendan Douglas, Harford Village, St. Andrew. Kelly David Mount Ridge, St. Patrick. Andrel Noel, Chantimel, St. Patrick. Alicia Fabian Sater, St. Patrick. Raymond Albert Monfendu, St. Patrick. Dagmar Chavez, Westerhall, St. David. Curtis Boris Rucane, St. David. Omega Antoine Marley, St. David. And Linus Charles Latant, St. David. Again, you people, please call the number as soon as possible. Don't call me. Call the number. You understand? Good. And that's it for the hot list for tonight. Folks, we have our entertainment piece coming up. Yes. And of course, we also have for you the national report. So when we come back from a very short break, we have our entertainment. And I love the entertainment piece tonight. So I'd like you to stick around for that as well. We are coming back shortly.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom
For me and you.
I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. What a wonderful world.
We enjoy the luxury of a quality water supply. But it can come to this. Have adequate storage.
It's one of the most anticipated events in 2020, the Grenada Music Festival, June 5th to 7th at the home of the festival, Quarantine Recreational Park. 12 live bands, more than 16 dynamic performers, great food and local culture. The Grenada Music Festival, June 5th to 7th, bigger and better in 2020. Get ready.
Are you planning an event or looking to rent tents? Then call the tent experts at Waggy T Tent Rentals. We rent tents for all occasions. Tents in different colors, styles, and 25 different sizes, from as little as 10 by 10 to as large as 100 by 40. Call us at 439-TENT. That's 439-8368. Or visit our office at Frequente Industrial Park, Grand Anse, St. George. We are Grenada's tent people.
The West Indies Cricket Championship Tournament is on and in full swing.
It's gone high and it's gone over the boundary. That's gone for 6.
Thursday, February 13th to Sunday, February 16th.
Crazy like Donald Trump.
4 days of exciting cricket action at the Grenada National Cricket Stadium. The region's best go head-to-head. As the Windward Island Volcanoes takes on the Guyana Jaguars. Game starts 10 a.m. daily. Admission $10 at the gate. It's cricket, more cricket. At the Grenada National Cricket Stadium, Windward Island Volcanoes versus Guyana Jaguars. It's the West Indies Championship Tournament. Cricket fans, we will be seeing you there.
Why not stay in, turn off the alarm clock, and sleep some more on your perfect mattress from Quartz? For the widest range of mattresses from the world's best brands, the best value guaranteed. Shop today and let our sleep experts help you to decide on the best option to suit your needs. At Quartz, we don't just sell mattresses, we're offering you the best night's sleep. So, sleep in a little on your new mattress from Quartz. Quartz, bringing value home.
Some of all you want to wonder, some of you are wondering whether or not you heard Nathaniel crying. Oh yes, really that dog there. Yeah, I mean. Now the Grenada Music Festival 2020 tickets will go on sale as of tomorrow night, 8 p.m. at gotofet.com, and your physical tickets will be available from February 26, 2020. Junior he was making a little cry, but he ain't crying again. You know, sometimes you just want to be reassured that daddy is still around. Yeah, last time you just see father for a little while, yeah, please mash up. All right, folks, what we have for you right now is our entertainment piece. We're heading to karaoke.
My man must drink rum and feel so sick after.
Yo, a little lie, that tune, bad. That again is another hit. Listen, they say people don't make hits, people make songs, and well, the artist, when I say that, the artists don't make hits, they make songs and they become hits by virtue of the people response or the people's response. That is true with every other artist except a few, and Slatter is one of them. Every one of his tunes, bad like Bo. You can feel comfortable playing them and knowing that it will be a hit. Big up Slatter. Listen, I keep telling people about this guy, but you know what? We just lag. We always lagging behind for someone else to recognize before we do. This man here go mash up the world. I telling all of that, boy. He go mash up the world. Take all the time. Take all the time. Folks, it is now time for the National Report.
Grenada hailed yet again for structural adjustment reform. Details to this story and more in the National Report. With the details to the news for Tuesday, February 11th, I am Leslie Ann Johnson. Grenada has again been recognized for significant improvements in its overall economic activity following implementation of its structural reform program. During the annual meeting of the Caribbean Development Bank on Tuesday, the bank's Director of Economics, Dr. Justin Ram, singled out Grenada for being able to significantly reduce its debt-to-GDP ratio as a result of belt-tightening measures.
There have only been a few countries in the Caribbean that have recently implemented significant fiscal reforms and structural reforms as well. And I can say to you that the countries that have done that, the majority of them have seen improvements in their overall economic activity. Take, for example, Grenada. When Grenada began its homegrown adjustment program a few years ago, it had a debt-to-GDP ratio in excess of 100%. Today, I'm happy to report that that debt-to-GDP ratio is below 60%. This is 10 years ahead of the Eastern Caribbean Currency Union's target of when they should have achieved this target, which there's that target that has been set by 2030.
Grenada's Premier Athletic Championship is returning, but under new sponsorship. A press launch was held on Tuesday to announce the launch of the 3-day Republic Bank Inter-Secondary Schools Athletics Championship, or Intercol, which will take place on March 31st and April 1st and 2nd. For more than 38 years, the games were held under the title sponsorship of Scotiabank, which was acquired by Republic Bank just over 3 months ago. Mr. Keith Johnson, Managing Director of Republic Bank, says this is a new beginning of a partnership between Republic Bank and Intercol.
But we're very pleased to host this first ever Republic Bank Inter-Secondary Schools Athletic Championships, fondly referred to as Intercol. As has been said before, Republic Bank boasts an enviable track record of support in the area of youth development through sports. And the Intercol Games is a huge addition to the illustrious list of sporting activities supported by the bank, such as the Right Start Youth Football Tournament, the Right Start Under-19 Inter-Parish Cricket Tournament, and the National Learn to Swim Week, just to name a few.
Mr. Kevin Andel, the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Education, Human Resource Development, Religious Affairs and Information, says government values the place that Intercol has in the lives and fabric of the Grenadian society.
Our students, through the Intercol and other sporting activities, better the economic status. And we have many examples. We can just think of one, Kirani James. But not only better in his economic status, but also he became an ambassador for our country. The mileage that we have gained from Kirani James' exploit, we cannot pay for that. but remember vividly the humble days of Intercall when Kirani showcased his talent. Also, the Intercall and what it provides has also created an opportunity for scouts to see our talents. And some of our students through Intercall and the exhibition, through that event, is the only opportunity for higher education.
And the chairman of the Grenada Association of Secondary School Principals, Mr. Dominic Jeremiah, says coverage for athletes is currently a significant talking point.
One way to ensure the care and development of our athletes is not only about managing the number of events that they participate in, but it's also about ensuring that they have coverage. And we are pleased to announce that for the first time in the history of the Games, we are negotiating coverage for our athletes.
This is the National Report. More news after the break.
Kayak Mass 2020. February 15th to February 25th. And a real event making one spectacular carnival. Saturday, February 15th. Children Mass, Frolic, and the Big Show. Thursday, February 20th. Queen Show Night. February 21st. Soca Monarch. Saturday, 22nd. Jab Convention. Calypso and Groovy. Sunday, February 23rd. Monday, Juve and Monday Night Mass. Tuesday, February 25th. Shakespeare Mass. And the Last Lap. All the major MCs and DJs will be inside Kayak Mass 2020. Make reservations and book now.
Continuing the news, the Ministry of Health says while there is no evidence that the coronavirus is in the region, systems have been put in place for testing. Acting Chief Medical Officer Dr. Francis Martin says CARPHA, the Caribbean Public Health Agency, now has the ability to test for the virus.
We have swabs that we're able to use to get samples, and CARPHA is able to test. So Grenada will be using CARPHA for the testing of coronavirus, and this can happen right now as we speak, and that's a plus for us. As with many of our smaller islands, turnaround time has to do with travel. That's really what it is, because it takes a couple hours to actually do the test. So our focus is how efficient is our shipping and receiving the samples. CARPHA confirmed to us that in a couple hours they can give us a result. And if there's a need for confirmation, well, there's some other DNA typing that they may do if they get a positive test. That might take another 2 days. But in terms of the positive test, in a few hours the result is available.
Health Minister, the Honourable Nicholas Steele, says CARICOM health ministers have also put systems in place to ensure efficiency in transport of tests once the need arises.
We have confirmed through all of the various ports, i.e. all of the airports, that the tests will be allowed to transit through on LIAT or Caribbean Airways or any other method, and also that there is a backup of RSS, that RSS logistically will be assisting as well regional security services with their aircraft if necessary.
Meanwhile, the head of the Epidemiological and Surveillance Units, Dr. Sean Charles, says passengers arriving on flights with those who have been quarantined are not at risk if those individuals have no exhibited symptoms.
The disease is transmitted by respiratory droplets that are expelled or ejected when someone coughs and sneezes and so on. Someone who is asymptomatic, they have no cough, they're not sneezing on anyone. The mere fact that they're breathing the same air with you does not mean that you are at risk of getting the disease. All right, the disease is transmitted by respiratory droplets that are produced and expelled when someone coughs and sneezes or so. So if someone does not have these signs and symptoms, then they will not transmit the disease.
Grenada is being represented at the World Bank's International Development Association IDA high-level meeting with the Eastern Caribbean, which is taking place in Miami this week. Prime Minister and Minister for Finance, Dr. the Right Honourable Keith Mitchell, and Minister for Climate Resilience and the Environment, Senator Simon Steele, are among government representatives from the Eastern Caribbean attending the meeting, along with representatives from the World Bank. The high-level dialogue is intended to discuss strategic priorities in preparation for the utilization of IDA resources from July 2020 to June 2023. Blue economy and renewable energy are particular areas of focus for the meeting. According to the invitation letter from the World Bank, and I quote, "The purpose is to have an evidence-based dialogue, reach a joint understanding on the state of play in these areas, and access the potential for future IDA 19 supported engagement and development results," unquote. IDA 19 resources for Grenada, Dominica, St. Lucia, and St. Vincent and the Grenadines are estimated at $350 million. Under IDA 18, Grenada benefited from $74 million that supported government's resilience building and digital transformation agendas and other strategic areas. The IDA resources were in the form of 2 policy-based loans, valued at $50 million to support climate resilience and fiscal sustainability, $15 million for digital governance for resilience project, $6 million for a regional health project, and $3 million in additional support for CASIP project. And finally, Grenada has won the quartz reading competition. Melody Garrett from Mount Rose SDA triumphed over her regional colleagues in the final in St. Lucia on Tuesday. Her winning prizes include a check valued at $5,000, a trophy, and a laptop. And that's the National Report. I'm Leslie Ann Johnson.
All right, folks. Well, thank you very much for that, the National Report. And we will have another National Report segment for you tomorrow, God's willing. All right, so let's see what the weather is like for tonight. Well, in St. George's, it's just around 27 degrees Celsius. So that's kind of normal. All right, and the winds are not easterly to easterly at 12 to 22 miles per hour. Seas moderate to rough with waves 6 to 8 feet in open waters, and a marine advisory remains in effect. So we can expect the weather to be about partly cloudy, hazy and breezy with a few nighttime and early morning showers. All right, so that's not bad at all. So that's it for your weather for tonight, and of course, folks, we will have some weather for you again tomorrow as well. Yes, and I told you that we were leaving early. Even if you leave a 5 minutes early, that's still early, right? Gotta big up all the people on the program right now, boy. Big up. Yes, big up to Angel and Mike and Peter and Catherine, Charmaine and Zaka. All right, and Suzette. All the best to you, man. You know what I mean? Hey, don't forget, we're still inviting donations to our organization. That's the Mikey Life Helping Hands Foundation. And once you make a donation of $80 or more to the organization, you would receive a free Valentine's gift pack that includes a limited edition Mikey Life wine and some premium chocolate. That's right. All right. So please feel free to send me a message. And we can hook up directly, or you can also contact any other members of the Mikey Life Helping Hands Foundation. Danica, Angel, Margaret, Colette, what's going on, Colette? Michelle, and Mishi, Joyous, Natasha, and Shireen, and Shiva. So Shireen, so all you don't want me then, eh? Shireen, so if I say early and I'm not going early, you're begging me to go early, that means you don't want to see the program, what is that one, boy? Alright? If you behave, I want to make you see the baby, but you ain't behave, you understand? The baby is there banging on the studio door. You know, he's just waiting for the program to end. Yeah? So anyway, folks, all the best. Yeah, we're going to do some work on the studio right now. It's going to take us a couple hours. All right, and of course tomorrow you may notice the difference in the audio. Yeah, so anyway, so work time. Do have yourselves a great time, guys, and we'll touch base again tomorrow, God's willing. Let's do this in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we all say ja. No. Good night, everyone. You and your family. Remember to love your family, love others, be humble, be kind, and everything shall work out for you. All right, guys, take care. Baby's banging on the studio though. Take care. All right, see you guys later.